So what was the purpose of Deuteronomy 24, verse 1 to 4?
You're asking me something I don't know the answer to, and I don't think any scholar knows really what the original law is about. Because it says, if a man divorces his wife, and then she goes off and marries someone else, and then that person divorces her, then is she allowed to come back and marry her original husband? She can marry a third husband, but can she marry her original husband? And it says that the land will be polluted. This is absolutely abominable. You must not do this.
So how would God take back the northern tribes of Israel once he divorced them?
Oh, this is a big issue. Because you see this in Hosea. God has divorced her. He says that she is not my wife and I am not her husband, using the ancient Near Eastern divorce formula. And yet later on in chapter 2, he says that he's going to marry her again. And then I will betroth you to me in righteousness and in justice, and in steadfast love and mercy. I'll betroth you to me in faithfulness, and you will know the Lord. It looks like he's planning to marry her again. And this is a big problem. And Jeremiah faces up to this problem in chapter 3. He actually quotes Deuteronomy 24. He says, well, if a man divorces his wife and she goes from him and becomes another man's wife, will he return to her? Would not the land be greatly polluted? He says, well, if God is going to do this, if God is going to marry Israel again, having given her a certificate of divorce, then that would pollute the land. And how on earth can that happen? And Jeremiah puzzles with this throughout his book. Isaiah and Ezekiel also worry about this. And in Isaiah, he comes to the conclusion that Israel and Judah together will marry the Lord as a virgin bride. It will be a completely new marriage. And how can that be? They've already been married to him. Well, Ezekiel gives us a solution. The Lord gives him the vision of the two sticks, and on one you write Judah, on one you write Israel. Then he binds them together to make the one stick again. And the two nations, the two sisters, if you like, who split up when the nations split up after Solomon's time, the two nations have become one again. They've become one person. So you have this picture in the Old Testament that these two wives have become a new person when they became one again. And they marry God again as a virgin bride. But the puzzle is still left there in the Old Testament, and really it doesn't get solved until you get to the New Testament, where you find Jesus marrying the church, and the church, of course, encompassing not only Gentiles, but encompassing Jews as well, as one completely new person, one completely new bride who is married to God in the perfect marriage, a marriage which will never end.